What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Social Club, where everyone has a voice, and welcome to the Social Club football event. 31 days, 31 videos. All August long, we're bringing you daily football content, from the NFL to college football and everything in between. Expect videos on Heisman frontrunners, NFL MVPs, bold predictions, hot takes, and more as we gear up for the new season. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a day of football content. We're building more than just content. We're building a community. So make sure to comment your thoughts below every video and let your voice be heard. Other than that, go ahead and pull up a chair, grab a plate, and let's talk football. Today, we're diving into one of the most debated topics heading into the 2025-2026 college football season, and that is the most overrated teams in college football. We're talking big NIL money, flashy recruiting classes, and coaching staffs that somehow keep their jobs despite calling bubble screens on 3rd and 12. This list is based off of my personal opinion, while also making some judgments based off of NIL spending, recruitment hype, recent performance, and coaching efficiencies. We're cutting right through the noise and dropping a top 5 list that is sure to stir the pot. Real quick, guys, if you can smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, that will help grow our page. Also, our slogan is everyone has a voice, so please voice your opinion. Let us know down below who is the most overrated team going into the college football season this year. At number 5, we have Colorado. Oh yes, you knew Colorado had to be on this list. Let's just call it for what it is. This team is literally only hype. There is nothing that they have done in the last 2 years that any normal team that didn't have the name Deion Sanders in it would have been considered as relevant. Just to give an olive branch, I will say Deion Sanders has definitely turned around the program. I mean, they were 1-11 in 2022, and then now you're looking at them finishing 9-4 last season and making it to a bowl game. Now, they didn't win, but they at least made it, and it is a complete turnaround for what Colorado has been. So let me give Deion credit for that. But other than that, they boast a top 15 recruiting class and huge NIL buzz around the Sanders sons, Travis Hunter, of course, but it did not go anywhere. And now you're telling me with the Sanders sons gone and Travis Hunter going into the NFL that they're going to somehow be better than they were last time? I don't see it. You know, the one really important thing that people forget is that in that bowl game against BYU, whatever people want to say, they played all their starters. No one really sat out, and they got throttled. They lost 36-14, but to be honest, I mean, that doesn't tell the full story if you just watch the game. They got completely manhandled, and it really showed the gaps in their elite level depth. And now, they had great receivers, and I would like to think that they had good secondary, but there's clearly an issue within the front seven on both sides of the ball that Deion Sanders need to address, and I have yet to see if they've actually addressed that yet, but we already know as soon as it comes around, if Colorado wins their first 2 games, the hype train is coming all the way back. And you know what? Congrats to Deion for being able to be such an icon that he brings that much attention to him. But for those reasons, Colorado 100% deserves to be on this list. At number 4, we have LSU. Now, this pains me to say because I am actually an LSU fan. However, I know when I try to make videos for you guys and make good content, part of it is I can't be overtly biased. I have to call a spade when I see a spade. And let's call it for what it is. LSU is a premier football team. And it's nothing that they've done over the last couple seasons to say that they are horrible, but in terms of LSU standards of greatness, they have been bad. Plenty of years they have been placed in the top 10 preseason rankings and come out and just fall flat on their head. What do I mean by that? Well, they've lost the first game of the season consecutively like 4 or 5 times in a row. And there's a lot of reasons for that. For number one, if you don't have the talent that's ready, maybe don't schedule a game against a top 10 opponent either at their place or at a neutral site. But no, they just haven't done that. So then they open the season with a loss immediately on the record, which is not good for an SEC schedule. Now, my biggest beef and why LSU deserves to be on this list is that it doesn't matter how talented of a team that they had over the past few years, Brian Kelly cannot get out of their way. I'm so sick of Brian Kelly's coaching style. I mean, he's literally running maniacs, and honestly, he just seems like he's just not made for the SEC lifestyle. It's a different type of crazy that you need to be to really control this amount of talent and this amount of depth that you have to deal with, and then form that into a working product on the field. And LSU, from a talent standpoint, hasn't skipped a beat. They've consistently had top 10 recruiting classes, and the NIL money, I mean, the boys got money. But all in all, LSU 100% makes this list because every year they should be picked to make the playoffs, and they haven't yet under Brian Kelly. So if Brian falls short this year, I think this is his last year. And because of those reasons, LSU is going to be in the overrated category. Coming in at number 3, we have the Michigan Wolverines. Don't you guys remember the year that Michigan won the national championship? Good times, right? Well, since then, they have been literally nothing. I mean, they have really hit the dirt right after that championship game and went 8-5. Now, granted, they did beat Alabama in a bowl game, but both of those teams look pretty rough, if I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of things wrong with the team. I mean, for starters, last year they just flat out had QBs in that room that couldn't throw the ball, which is the most insane concept. I would never understand this about Big Ten in general, is that how do you recruit these QBs that actually don't know how to throw the ball? I mean, like, they can't throw an out route, a basic 5 and out. They can barely throw slant routes. It's insane, and that's literally what Michigan had to do. For Michigan to be 8-5, it's actually pretty remarkable because their QB actually couldn't throw for 200 yards in the game. It's insane. But along with that, I mean, they've had plenty of issues with just a lot of guys that went to the NFL and then a brand new coaching staff with Harbaugh leaving. So it was definitely a down year. A lot of people are thinking this is going to be their year. I mean, they posted a top 10 recruiting class. I know the big story, if you guys remember, is the signee of the really big freshman. They signed a 4-year, 50 million, 100 million, 250 million contract or whatever it is. So they think they're going to be relevant again. But to be real, this Big Ten is not the same Big Ten that I remember. This is a scary Big Ten conference this year, with the likes of Oregon, the USCs, the Washingtons, and then of course the long-standing Big Ten rivals, and then Ohio State, Penn State, and the like. So this Michigan's team is going to have its hands full all year, and I just don't see them doing any better than 8-5 like they did last year. However, I assume a lot of people are going to think they're going to have a bounce back year. So for those reasons, Michigan definitely makes number 3 on the list. Coming in at number 2, we have Ole Miss. Now, to a lot of people, this list was literally built for Ole Miss. And for good reason. I mean, this is Ole Miss's story every single year. They got the greatest, the best, the fastest, the brightest. You got Lane Kiffin, the offensive genius, and every single year haven't made a single playoff. They always lose 3 games to the big top dogs in the SEC and just miss the playoffs. It's the same story every single year. Every single year. Here we are. Let's go through it again. Obviously, they posted a strong 10-3 record in 2024, and they had a really great win against the Florida Gators in the bowl game. You know, they had the top NIL transfer and rankings and money and recruit. You had Jackson Dart, who ended up going to the draft, but he played pretty well. The offense scored 39 points a game, except somehow they didn't know how to beat Kentucky, but whatever. They had this supposed 14.5 points per game defense. But again, LSU, Kentucky, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, you name it, they just don't know how to win when it matters. Listen, man, Georgia, Alabama, I'm just going to throw in just a pick me for wherever the third best SEC team is this year. If they don't beat at least one of those teams this year, it's going to be the exact same story every time. They know who to beat, and they just can't do it. And then on top of that, they'll have the nerve to lose to a bottom tier SEC team just for no reason, just to make it fun. But well, I mean, there's nothing really to be added on at this. It's a great team. They look great on paper every single year, but they just can't get the job done. And that is literally the definition of an overrated team, in my opinion. And coming in at number one, this team 100% deserves this every single year with this team. And it's even more disappointing than what Ole Miss does, because at least Ole Miss is fun to watch. But this team really takes the cake, and I don't see anyone arguing against this. The number one most overrated team going into the college football season this year is Texas A&M. I almost feel like I can just stop the video right now. Just everyone agrees it's Texas A&M. They have been and will forever be the most overrated team I have ever seen in my life. And you know what? It's so bad that it spans through all of their sports. Texas A&M basketball, Texas A&M softball. It's all the same story with this team. They got all the money in the world. They got the best fans in the world. Their fans are crazy, but they're there. I have to give them that. Best fans in the world. Best recruitment in the world every single year, and do absolutely nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. It's not even about making a playoffs. They don't even get close. They don't even sniff the playoffs. With as good of a team, as great as a stadium, as great as a fan base, as great as a recruiting class every single year. Looking at last year, the Augies went 8-5 in 2024, falling short in the Las Vegas Bowl to USC. Despite pulling in top 5 recruiting classes every single year and spending heavily in NIL every single year, they failed to hit 10 wins since joining the SEC in 2012. Now listen, let me just stop right there. They haven't won 10 games in a season since joining the SEC in 2012. Maybe it's time to leave. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's time to leave. Their new head coach, which is probably just like their old head coach, and the one before that, and the one before that. But anyway, their new head coach, Mike Elko, is unproven at this level. And the QB battle between veteran Marcel Reed is a veteran now. That's interesting. And competition looms large. It doesn't even matter. I've seen the QB play. They haven't been the same since Johnny Manziel. With elite roster talent and resources, A&M's output has been mediocre at best, obviously. If they can't translate that into wins in 2025, their overrated tag will be impossible to shake. And I think just this team is just so depressing because, honestly, the fans deserve better. And I would actually love to go to a game this year for Texas A&M because I've heard that the atmosphere is just top 10. Best you'll see in the country. But man, they sure know how to lose. That's for sure. Other than that, there you have it, guys. That is my list of the top 5 most overrated teams heading into the college football season. And if you guys disagree, be sure to drop your comments below and let me know who did I miss, who should be on there, who should not be on there. I do want to make one thing clear. I know a lot of people would love for me to put Florida State on this list. The reason why I didn't is because I think if anyone has any high hopes for Florida State, you either actually live there or just 100% delusional. Like, I tried to pick teams that at least are relatively successful, but Florida State is a whole different story. I mean, there's no saving them. For anyone to think that they're going to be relevant, it's just out of their mind. I mean, they've been downright terrible. So for that reason, I couldn't put Florida State on this list. But for anyone else and any other team that you think that I missed, please comment that down below and let me know your thoughts. But other than that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.